All right, it has been sleeting for quite some time, so they actually sent my wife home from work. Probably a good thing, but that's pretty much what it looks like here. So I've already scraped the sidewalk off once and it's already back. This stuff sucks, and I think we're going to get it all day today and a little bit tomorrow too. Yay! All right, guys, this is a little off the wall here, but if you've been following my build thread series or build series on YouTube, of course, I've got the two-door hardtop going on, and I've got a four-door 55 that I'm going to build for my wife. Her car, I'm just going to rewire the whole car myself because I have tons of wire here. So I'm just going to rewire the whole car and use the original fuse panel, which I've already cleaned it up real nice and everything. But I needed new fuses. Now I do have some fuses here, but I think that there was 3 different Lynx fuses or something in those fuse boxes, if I remember right. So what I did was I got online and I was looking around. I was looking to buy like a multi-pack, you know, with all different Lynx in it and different sizes or amp fuse and all that. But I run onto this used listing and I was kind of intrigued. The main reason is some of these are really, really vintage. I did not know that TRW made fuses. I never knew that. So that's kind of cool. Doesn't surprise me because, you know, they make everything else just about. I have never heard of Atlas fuses. I didn't know that was a thing. There's 2 different logos here, so, you know, one's older than the other. Of course, these, I think I used to have these, and I've had this one that used to say just bus fuses. And I have seen little fuse before, which is kind of cool. Now, this one is a little fuse also, but it's embossed in the plastic right there, if you can see that. And on the back, it has a chart thing here. So, goofing around on eBay, I found this whole lot from one guy, and it was $6, I think, and like $3 or $4 for shipping. So less than $10, I got an assortment of, these are new fuses, never been used. You know, there's a couple missing here and there, but for the most part, there's a lot of fuses here. So, and I'm going to want to carry at least a couple of these fuse boxes, you know, containers in the glove box, just in case a fuse blows on us somewhere. So I thought these red, white, and blue ones would be kind of cool to throw in the glove box. But if anybody, I haven't done any research yet. I need to do that. But I figured some of you guys that are subscribed and watch my videos, you might actually know a little bit of info on these Atlas fuses or even the TRW. I'm kind of trying to figure out what year these are, because it'd be kind of cool to have a, you know, mid-50s to late 50s or even 60s correct fuses, the case anyway, to put in the glove box just for show, I guess. But anyway, I'm happy with that. So now I got me some glass fuses. These are kind of hard to find around here. I remember back, you know, you could go to a gas station somewhere and these would be on the shelf. Well, nowadays you don't really find the glass fuses at that stuff anymore, which I got to say, I have seen them at truck stops. They still have glass fuses at truck stops. I noticed the last time I was in a truck stop, which I was kind of blown away by. But I just like the red, white, and blue ones. I thought those were pretty cool. So I'll probably keep these in the glove box. Of course, I'll go through here and I'll find the miscellaneous ones, the length and the sizes that I need. So I'll have the correct ones in here if I ever blow a fuse somewhere, or she does, and I can replace it. So while I was on eBay messing around, I bought something else I've been needing. I used to buy these at my local Atwoods. This is just a center punch, and it's an automatic. It's a spring-loaded spring punch. So instead of, you know, marking your metal with a hammer and a punch, this kind of does it in one whack. I've had 2 or 3 of these through the years, but I went down to my local Atwoods and they don't have any anymore. So I got online and I found this at eBay for $7. So in case you want one, that's pretty much it. There's the part number. But instead of using a hammer and a punch, it's pretty much that right there. And it puts a little indent in there so your drill bit doesn't walk when you go to drill. So I thought that was kind of cool. Now on to the coolest thing. Well, I think it's cool, but I like die-cast cars. So I found that on eBay for $8. No way I was turning that down. It's something that I didn't need, but I actually just found out several months ago I was watching a guy's video. He got a collection of old die-cast stuff, and he was going through the boxes. This was in there. Now, he didn't talk about it, but he did pick it up, and he looked at it, and I seen it in the camera, and I could tell right away what it was. He did say it was a Tootsie Toy, so I went to eBay and typed in 1955 Chevy Tootsie Toy, and there it is. This is a four-door sedan 55 Chevy Tootsie Toy. Now, it's not missing parts. That's the way these old Tootsie Toys were. They didn't have interior, they didn't have glass, they didn't have a bottom on them or anything. That is exactly what you got was this. I think it's really cool, and it's almost the same exact color that I'm painting my wife's car. So how cool is that? So this, when she takes her car to a car show, we'll open the glove box to show off the owner's manual and all that stuff. But I thought I would set this up there on the back side of the glove box door while it's open, you know, like down in one of them cup holder indents just to show it. But pretty neat, little 55 Chevy four-door, 64 scale Tootsie Toy. It does roll, and it's actually not too bad a shape for its age. It's really neat. It says Chevrolet in it back there. It also says Tootsie Toy Chicago, USA in there. I think they made a blue one, if I remember right, but I wanted the green. Now, there are some on eBay if you're interested. I know some people don't care, but I've always collected Hot Wheels and Matchbox and Maisto and that type of stuff. So for me, this is kind of normal to get something like that. But I was pretty happy with the price. It's not an expensive toy, but I think it's kind of cool because it's a four-door. Because usually when you find 64 scale die-cast 55 Chevys, they're two doors, convertibles or nomads or something. You never really find a four-door specific toy. So pretty neat stuff. All right, so I've got a quarter molding here for my wife's 55 four-door. Both door points for both sides. Got some little dingers in them pretty much. I'm going to work these out real quick just to kind of see what kind of finished product I can get. You can see there's three pretty good little creases right through here. And I got one little dinger right there. The rest of the molding appears to be pretty nice. It's got, you know, the usual scrapes and scratches and stuff, and the paint will need redone. So I'm going to get started here. All right, so I got, used that end of the hammer, and pretty much just went in here and kind of picked at it for a little bit to get it going. You can see the shine in the stainless if you try to get the light in it, and I've still got a few little ripples right through here, so I'm going to work on it a little bit more. This one I pretty much got worked out pretty nice, but what I'm going to do right now is take this little jeweler's file and go across this right here like this. Like it did pretty good. Let's try this. So I can see right here, I got a little bit of a low. I got a few more little spots here. I'm gonna see if I can file that out. Yeah, that one right there, I'm gonna hit a little bit. Hard to do one-handed. right, so after I filed it and I noticed I didn't have low spots left, I did, this is 180 right here on this block, and then I put 220 on this end. So I pretty much removed the fine file marks with the 180, and then I switched to 220. Now I'm going to go to 320 and then 400, and then I'm going to go to 600 on the DA, and then 1000, and then finish it all the rest of the way to 2500 by hand. All right, guys, I just done the very end of it here just to show, for the sake of a video, just kind of how quick you can do that. I got all the 3 creases out of the tip of it there, and I worked the other dent out. I don't remember where it was. I don't remember if it was here or up here now, but of course I didn't finish the trim out. I mean, I didn't even sand any of that down there, so this thing needs to, I'll have to strip off the old paint out of here, and then I'll go back. I did find a couple more little teeny tiny dings in this thing that I will fix, but I just basically want to show that for the sake of a video. I think that, you know, I'm showing you guys in a garage what you can do with minimal tools, you know what I mean? I will say on the hammer, if you do have a hammer like this that has a flat edge on it like that, this is pretty nice for fixing trim. Make sure your edges are rounded or soft edges. Make sure this thing is not straight cut and, you know, 90-degree edges, because it will put some heckacious high spots in your trim. Make sure that's all rounded out. But it turned out pretty good for no more of the time that I spent on it. Now I got to go back and do all the trim, you know, and I'll sand it all the way to the end again, but it still has some DA hook marks right in here, but I just mainly tried to concentrate on that end right there where it was boogered up. But right there you can see all the little hammer marks in that. And that's pretty much what you got to do. Right there is a hammer mark for this one, because I couldn't remember if it was on the top or the bottom, which I got handprints, and I didn't even really buff it that good up there, but that's how you do it, guys. Of course, I'm in the floor, not on a workbench. All right, so I'm working on the left-hand stainless here. So this thing has some wrinkles in it right there, if you can see that. It's just from the factory. That's the way that was, when it was pressed, that's the way it was. That's pretty much what it wound up with. So what I started doing before I grabbed the camera was I grabbed my little jeweler's file right here. These are really, really fine files. These are not real coarse. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to try to level this out, and then I'll have to go up on the paper from there, which I will just do probably on this little sponge block right here. It's a little bit flexible. I'll probably do 180, 220, 320, 400, and then I'll go to 600 on the DA pad, and then 1000, and then go to 15 and 2000 and 2500. But I want to clean this up a little bit because this will be visible once it's on the car. You know, it pretty much goes right up there, and that's going to be front and center pretty much, especially on the high side where it's in your eye level, pretty much just looking down at it. There is a belt line molding that goes into that, but it doesn't go that far up on it, so the majority of that will be visible. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this. Pretty rough on the wrinkles there. All right, so there's the finished product there. Got the wrinkles out of it. I think that looks pretty good. I can live with that. I think turned out pretty nice. I still need to go over it with some others and get some of the residue off of it, my fingerprints, but works for me. This goes on the top of the wing window assembly on this hard top, and you can see all the scratches in there. I did use a little DA action on this. Probably been a few years ago, and it's just been inside a box, but I never did finish it. These get a lot of scuffs and marks on them because they run across, you know, the flipper and stuff like that on the car. But they get, you know, scratched up and gouged up pretty bad. I just wanted to show a before of how bad this is. So that would be a before reflection there. All right, here's the wing window top piece with my fingerprints on it. I'll go over this with Mother's a little bit on a rag and clean it up a little bit more, but again, not perfect, but it's good enough. I can put it here with these other pieces. Getting the collection now.